Okay folks, this will be an interesting one. I don't know how I'm going to do this. We'll soon find out. This user interface, folks, is distracting. You just saw that. I just lost where I was. This is not good. Konica Minolta, the company that built this fucking dumbass machine, they don't know how to make anything. They're fucking idiots. I actually heard from someone working at a local Office Works store. I asked him how are the new machines, I think they came out either last year or I think actually this year, 2020 or 2021, I don't know. And they're shit. I was told they kept breaking down and they're not reliable, in so many words. And basically, they're lemons. They're fucking lemons, folks. I asked him how much bad are they compared with the old ones, and he said about 35% worse. There you have it. My hunch with this dumb fuck company is right. I don't like to rely on just my own observations. It's really handy to have other people who also say the same thing. It's really good to be validated, folks. Anyway, we're just doing this one. It's a Snooty magazine. But basically, yeah, looks like I'm not the only one who hates Konica fucking Minolta. And Shah Yamana, the CEO, he ought to be ashamed of himself. He's an idiot. He's a tard. He's a fucking dumbass. And we don't need idiots like him running big multinational companies like Konica fucktard Minolta, as I call it. Because it's stupid. You know, we've got to look after our planet. We've got to make the customer experience a positive one. We can't sacrifice the environment. We can't sacrifice the human race like the people who work in the factories in China putting shit like this together, or in Vietnam. We can't have that, folks. Slave labour. And making machines that give a nasty experience like this person, and this machine's giving me a fucking hard time. It's taken forever. Stabilising fucking image, dickheads. So you can see this equipment isn't terribly good, you know, like if these machines were really advanced. This is old technology built into this new framework. I've had this machine now for 3 years, and it won't be long before I'll have to replace it with a new one. And that looks interesting. I do think that looks really strange. But basically, you can see, folks, it's not a positive experience what we as customers are. Well, it's not. Fortunately, I don't have to deal direct with Konica Minolta. Fortunately, I get a dealership, a good dealership, helping me out. So, and I'm going to do it again. It's not good. So I'm trying to. They really do help when you get access to a good dealer, and you don't want to deal with companies like Konica Minolta. I've heard they're really bad customer review or something I read somewhere on the internet, that they're really not a very nice company to deal with. So I'm really glad to have a third party involved who knows all the ins and outs and all that, the stuff that I wouldn't myself understand, dealing with a big corporation like Konica Minolta, who I don't approve, I don't like. Konica Minolta is what I don't approve of. Stupid user interface. We really doesn't give you a very fucking good customer friendly experience. Because one day I want to build my own version of a photocopier. One day I want to become a CEO of a company, and I want to make the photocopiers good for the planet, good for the human race, as in making sure that no one starves or gets famished or thirsty, that I'll give most of my earnings away as a CEO to good causes, like trying to feed the less fortunate people, both onshore and abroad. I really want to make a difference, folks. I don't want to be like the rich people of today who just care about money, because that's at the core of what's happened with that experience at Officeworks. One of the staff members is that the love of money just destroys the whole experience, and you get all these nasty things happening to the equipment. The equipment's not living up to what it's been advertised. You know, they talk about high tech, they use all these fucking buzzwords, like technology is a common buzzword they use. So new technology, or this technology, or that technology, and this, that, the other. This is really innovative. Innovative, that's another buzzword. Innovation, innovative, technology. High tech is an old buzzword from way back. So you really get the feeling that it's all words, folks. There's just nothing more in it than just fucking words. And it really wears me out that these rich people just thrive on stupid, dumbass buzzwords and slogans, like slogans giving shape to ideas. It's like, fuck. What ideas? Ideas how to make money and rip off the customer, and how to fucking make slave labour for those people who, in China and Vietnam, human rights abuses, just to make a fucking piece of shit that doesn't work properly. Do we really want to enslave people? Fuck, that is not acceptable. If I was to build my own company and my own photocopier, I'd make sure that the labour was down under, here in Australia, designed, made, so owned and designed and made in Australia. Important, 100% Australian owned and made and designed. 100%, folks. Ridgy Ditch, the only thing that would come from overseas would be some of the materials from e-waste dumps to be used as recycled materials, because part of my pledge as a future CEO is to clean up the environment and try to clean up places like China and India, which are real renowned places where companies like countries like Australia and the US and all these big first world nations use the third world nations as a fucking dumping ground for stuff that's fucked. So photocopiers go overseas and they end up in fucking landfill, or even incinerated, or whatever it is that they do. But it's really disgusting, and this disgusting mess must be mopped up. And I'd like to do that, folks. I'd like to buy that fucking material off China and India, for example, and use it in the creation of the new equipment that we're going to make. So it's important that we use as much recycled materials as possible. So that's the only thing that's going to come from overseas. Maybe some of the labour will come from overseas, but let me tell you one thing. The kind of pay that these people will get will be a little bit more than what they're actually worth. Anyway, that's my two cents for the day. Gotta go.